Did you know that you can share your faith without saying a word? Your actions can speak louder than any sermon. As you know, I firmly believe in leading by example, showing the love of Christ through my actions, not just with words. Conversations about faith can be complicated, especially when it comes to family. Sometimes pushing our beliefs only creates more resistance. So, if you're figuring out how to express your faith, start by living it day by day with patience and love. It's not about preaching, but about showing. Sometimes, the quietest gestures say more than any sermon. What if I told you that the right time to talk about your faith doesn't depend on you, but on when God opens that door? This is where prayer comes in. Before trying to have these difficult conversations, pray for God to soften their hearts and pray for wisdom to speak at the right time. The right opportunity can change everything, but if you're not ready, you might miss it. Patience is key because forcing a conversation when the door is closed won't lead anywhere. Loving without conditions may be the hardest thing, but it's also the most transformative. How can you love those who don't share your faith without expecting anything in return? In my experience, loving unconditionally is one of the most powerful things we can do as Christians. Sometimes, the decisions of my family challenge my faith, and that can be painful. But I remind myself that Jesus called us to love, not to change others. Loving them just as they are, without expecting anything in return, is the most authentic way to reflect Christ. And although they may not share our faith, loving others without judgment is something we can all agree is needed. Do you feel alone in your faith? Here, I'll tell you how I've learned to find comfort and hope in the midst of family misunderstanding. The pain we feel when our family doesn't share our beliefs is real. Maybe you feel alone on this journey. I want you to know that you are not alone. I lean heavily on prayer, asking for strength to keep moving forward and to keep showing love. But here's the most important thing. Transformation doesn't depend on us, but on God. Sometimes it takes years, but keep trusting in His timing. When your family doesn't understand your faith, how can you stand firm without causing conflict? There is a way to do it with love and truth. One of the hardest things is to stand firm in faith when our family asks us to do things that don't align with our beliefs. We are called to love God above all, even above our loved ones. Remember to speak the truth with love. Explain your reasons calmly and with compassion, so they understand that your opposition is not a rejection, but a commitment to your beliefs. Also, seek to promote peace and maintain harmony while staying true to your faith. If you're losing patience waiting for a change in your family, here's why trusting God's timing can change everything. In my personal journey, trusting in God's timing has been the hardest thing. We all want to see changes now, especially when it comes to our loved ones. But there's power in patience. God is working behind the scenes even when we can't see it. Family conflicts are inevitable, but how can you maintain peace and continue being a light to others? We've talked before about conflicts in my family, especially my mother's anger towards God. It can be painful to see someone you love walk away from faith. If you're going through something similar, remember to speak the truth in love and seek peace. Sometimes, stepping away to pray and reflect can also help restore peace and understanding. Romans 15:13. Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Thank you for joining me in this very personal video. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What part resonated the most with you, If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to continue on this journey of faith and personal growth.